Rose Namajunas. She certainly stole the show on The Ultimate Fighter. She grew up in inner city Milwaukee, was always around violence and abuse.
There's definitely been some moments where I didn't know if I was gonna be able to make it this far.
She had a tough life, man. Yep, tough life.
My whole mindset was I'm just gonna keep focusing on winning. I feel a little bit of pressure every time. It's always there.
That kind of pressure, yes.
You cannot deal with the pressure. It's too much for you.
I don't know if Rose Namajunas has the mental toughness to be a champion.
Thug Rose, she reportedly lost her love for the sport, even toyed with the idea of retirement.
I just want to do something else.
Like retirement?
I don't know. It's just hard to. It's always there. It's always there.
Too much for
For me, obviously, this is the toughest fight in my life.
It is a championship fight night, and that means Thug Rose has been activated. Now, roughly 7 months after she regained the strawweight title, Thug Rose Namajunas is back to defend it against Zhang Wei Li, the woman from whom she wrested the belt away.
If anybody knows Rose, they know Rose is all in her head. Even Rose doesn't necessarily believe in herself sometimes. She's sitting there thinking, was it a fluke? That's the right mindset she's got to have in order to go into a fight. She's got to be completely unsure of whatever happened previously, and that's what keeps her on her toes.
All right, Rose, it's your time. Do it. Showtime, baby. Let's go. Let's do it.
Right here, Rose.
Motherfucker, have fun with this shit. Here we go.
6th UFC title fight for the now 2-time UFC strawweight queen. And Joe Rogan, the work she is putting in the gym is paying off in quantifiable ways that has taken her overall confidence to another level.
Well, I mean, having Pat Barry as both a boyfriend and a man to train with is amazing. With Trevor Whitman, she's got amazing training, but she's got an amazing mind. I mean, she's a very, very unusual and fascinating person. Rose Namajunas rises to the occasion like very few others. Whether or not she can do it again, that's where we're going to find out.
Rose was just exceptional. Just soaks up everything and learns. I thought she was gonna be like musical theater or something like that. When you you have kids, you just play, by ear. It's not always what you envision.
Me and my mom, sometimes we'll have a little jam session, impromptu jam sessions. Music has always been a part of her life, and it's done wonders for her. And so she taught my brother and I how to play piano. When she came to the United States, she eventually got a job being a music director at the church that was our sponsor when we got refugee status.
She has impact on me. We almost every morning, we call each other and say affirmations. I choose to be happy. I choose to be creative. I choose. It's all your mindset, having faith. Don't get distracted by the world, what's going on. Just be strong inside. I was born in country of Lithuania. It was part of Soviet Union at the time. And the Berlin Wall fell, and we were like, okay, this is our chance. I was still in school, getting my bachelor's in Conservatory of Music in Vilnius. Rose's dad said, well, we are moving, we're leaving, we're going to the United States. I'm like, what? Noyes was just 2 months.
That was kind of a rough time for Lithuania just because it was a lot of civil unrest and everything with the collapse of the Soviet Union. Our family went to the U.S. Embassy in Moscow, so we got refugee status and came to America through a sponsorship by a church.
I don't know why I did it. I did not want to be left out, and I was like, well, together we will make it.
Labas vakaras. Šiandieną mes švenčiame Vašingtono gimtadienį. Jolita juokiasi. Prieš tai mes atšventėm vasario 16, buvom Rysinė. Tai buvo nuostabi šventė. Kas įdomiausia, kad lietuviam gyvenantiem Viskonsino štate.
I was born June 29th, 1992 in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. I remember early on there was very warm, loving memories.
Sakyk, labas motinytė. Sakyk, išdėk. Aha, sakyk, labas motinytė, labas motinytė, labas motinytė, labas motinytė, labas motinytė.
People were just happy here, so giving to someone just immigrated. That was so heartwarming for me because American dream to me is if you decide to do something, you can.
Nes aš lankau citizenship klasės, pilietybės klasės, gausiu pilietybę ir būsiu tikras amerikonas.
I remember growing up with my brother. Obviously, he was always taking care of me in his own way, sometimes roughing me up, most of the time roughing me up. And other times just always making me laugh. There was really good memories early on. And then things kind of got a little rougher once, family situations kind of changed.
In Lithuania, my dad decided he didn't want to be part of the Soviet army, so the Soviets kidnapped him and put him in a psychiatric hospital and basically psychologically tortured him.
What I was told is that afterwards he was never the same, and they ended up kind of like causing schizophrenia to happen.
Oi, mano piešinukai, faina.
He was a really intense, deep thinker, obviously with all the paintings and stuff.
He was an artist, so he had a sensitive soul. He was, and it seemed like he sort of was changed when he came back.
Our parents divorced when I was about 4 or 5. I didn't really understand the situation, you know. It was just like, okay, you know, your dad's going away. I just remember seeing my dad one last time at McDonald's, and he was like, oh, you could come with me or you could stay with your mom and it's up to you. And that was it. I don't even remember emotionally processing that ever.
From there, it just was like hard for him to be in our lives, and then eventually he ended up dying. But yeah, so that's kind of the story, yeah, in a nutshell. We moved neighborhoods, and it was really hard on me.
We grew up in a rough neighborhood, and we had a lot of fun times and stuff, but it wasn't always sunshine and roses. I was constantly being picked on, and so like I had to learn how to defend myself.
Our cars got stolen, bikes got stolen. There was actual real violence, you know, you hear gunshots in the neighborhood, people would get shot. I kind of associate this place with a lot of fearful memories and scary things. You know, I watched somebody get stabbed down there, you know. When the cops showed up, I had to give a witness. Lots of you would think is like bad memories, but it's also like, doesn't sound positive, but it really is what cultivated me into who I am. Good, good. Thank you. Nice to see you.
Congratulations, you're doing a great job.
Thank you. Thank you. Chose martial arts was definitely my safe haven as a kid. Life at home was not the best. So this is like the main positive thing in my life. And I fell in love with it right away because it was so different from everything else.
You gotta know to self-believing. You can win this, you can do no matter what outcome. You're gonna try the best you can. And never, never, never give up.
The best is yet to come. They really pushed you to your limit so that you really did feel stronger in yourself. I'll develop self-discipline in order to bring out the best of myself and others. I will use what I learned in class constructively and defensively to help myself and my fellow man and never be abusive and offensive. The student creed planted a seed of positive affirmations and knowing your purpose, your mission statement, basically what you're doing. We are a black belt school. We are motivated. We're dedicated. We're a quest to be our best. Hey! I do remember that. Yeah, we said that like, I think we said that almost every day, right? Every class, yeah. That's the, dang, I didn't even realize I was doing positive affirmations since day one. That's crazy.
When Rose Namajunas steps off the bus for a cross-country meet, or just for a practice, she's ready to go full speed.
Just a feeling of afterward, of accomplishment, you know, that you get.
Rose's talents, however, extend far beyond any cross-country course. She also holds a black belt in martial arts.
I don't know, I just really like fighting. Not to instigate a fight or anything, but just the sport.
She's been active in karate, boxing, and kickboxing, just to name a few. Rose has even traveled as far as Portugal to compete.
The first day that I started training mixed martial arts, it was just all guys, pretty much just me and then like a bunch of dudes. And they were all really good wrestlers, really strong, really fundamental. And I remember when I first walked in, I grappled with everybody and I just kind of got mopped on the floor with a bunch of dudes. Like it was rough. I cried a lot. There was definitely lots of days where I'm just like, whew, I'm beat up. And so I knew that I had to prove myself. So I just showed up, did as best as I could. Some days I just cry. Took a long time, a couple years, and then my eyes were open and I actually grew into the training.
I first met Rose when she was really young. She had a different drive than a lot of people, and that's what I saw right away. You know, that same drive and push and a willingness to just go that extra mile. So that's when it all started. She started doing jiu-jitsu here, and the rest is history.
When I first started my amateur career, that's where I met Pat.
Do that exact same move, and as you do it, boom.
We were friends at first, teammates. I watched him for a very long time. When we first met, he was at the peak of his career. He was still super talented.
And that is it, Pat Barry making a statement.
But he did sacrifice his own talent because he saw something in me that he maybe didn't see in himself.
I fought for about 15 years, and for 15 years I had no goal in mind. I was just passing time. When I met Rose, it gave me a purpose. It gave me something to put all of my love into, all of everything that I could possibly give. As soon as I met Rose, I knew that's where all of my attention was gonna go.
And a relationship developed into a coach relationship, and then eventually we ended up hitting it off. We're soulmates, and he's my fiance and my rock, my everything. He's been there with me every step of the way.
Can you feel the love tonight? Time for a baby.
Representing Milwaukee, Wisconsin, ladies and gentlemen, here is Namajunas.
The first time when I walked into the cage, I was nervous. It was definitely the newest level of nerves that I've ever experienced doing something, but I was so ready to fight and I was so just aggressive during that time of my life.
Rose didn't know how to fight back then. Rose made her entire amateur career just being explosive, mean, and fighting somebody.
I just had all this pent-up energy, and I knew this is what I should be doing.
And immediately control comes out swinging. Rose landed a very nice right hand. Oh, a lying armbar attempt. Oh, she sweeps her over. It's done. Are you kidding me? Yes.
After having 3 professional fights in Invicta, I was able to acquire a lot of experience in that time. Becoming comfortable as a fighter, as a professional, and then I got approached with an opportunity to be on The Ultimate Fighter, and when that happened, it was a miracle. It was a godsend.
You're a local girl.
I'm local? Oh, from Milwaukee, yeah.
I immediately jumped on that opportunity.
You guys are the baddest 16 women in the world at this weight class, but it's going to be the hardest experience of your life. I promise you that.
The Ultimate Fighter provided sort of that structure where if you're like a new up-and-coming fighter, you can go in there and learn so much about the UFC and the life of a fighter and what it is that you need to do to adopt that lifestyle.
Don't back up, don't back up.
And learn how to be a fighter.
So I met Rose at the Ultimate Fighter, and she's super talented. Her accuracy and timing is like one and another. It's almost like when you watch a wild animal attacking prey. Everything is just on point. You see a lion go after a deer and they grab him in the neck just instantly, just like that. When she's in control of herself, she makes greatness happen.
Let go. Due to a Kimura and moving on, Rose.
I ran through the Ultimate Fighter house, had 3 first-round finishes, and then got into the finale show, and it was for the belt.
This is the inaugural UFC strawweight championship.
That was probably the best moment of my career as far as like preparing me for later.
Looking for that right hand here. Nice flying kick there. Nice takedown from Esparza.
Oh, big shots raining down for Esparza. Namajunas hanging tough.
Deep breath. It was a great round. I give it to her because the takedowns. We got to be sharper with that.
Under 3 minutes now to go in our second round. Takedown could be the great equalizer here tonight. Both women have had their moments on the feet. Esparza able to work into striking range there on the ground, keeping the pressure on Namajunas throughout.
This is the worst it gets, okay? Let's turn on.
Namajunas hanging tough. Gives up the back here.
Namajunas trying to push that elbow out.
Here's the tap. Carla Esparza is the UFC strawweight champion of the world.
I lost against Carla, who was like the #1 pick on the show. It was a huge learning experience for me. I became such a better person from that. And that's when Trevor and I bonded really well, and he took that loss really hard.
Pat and Rose are very unique. They love each other to death, but they are with each other all the time. That everything they do is together. Pat has fought, so there's that experience there. He's molded himself into this great coach, and there's no one that's as committed to someone in the fight game as he is. Because I know he feels like it's his responsibility, and that's why he cares so much. That's why he's so driven to make sure that every workout is perfect, because there's so much love, there's so much care there. Very unique situation.
Nice. Who told you to do that? Nice.
I admire Rose. Like, I'm not just a coach or a guy in a relationship with her. Like, I've got to be, in my eyes, I've got to be one of Rose's biggest fans. Not just from fighting, but just the way she carries herself in life. She's really put in the work, man. She's dedicated to whatever she feels her life mission is, and that's become my mission too.
Go.
Beautiful takedown by Rose. Oh, Angela's in big trouble. Rose jumped on that rear naked choke. Oh, she's got it. She's got it. She's out. She's passed out.
It's all over.
Nice one too early from Namajunas.
She looks the under. Yep, this is tight.
This one might do it.
This is there.
So Rose Namajunas finishes the job in a main event for the ages. What a fight.
Rose, the takedown attempt, and she gets it.
The winner by unanimous decision, Thug Rose Namajunas.
Nice right hand by Watterson. With a huge head kick. Watterson trying so hard to stay in this fight. Fighting hands, there's the tap. Thug Rose Namajunas with arguably the biggest win of her life as she stops Michelle Watterson. That is a monumental victory as she becomes an immediate title contender.
I remember the day that I got offered the fight. I remember I was like on the top of my steps in my house and got a call from the matchmaker, and I said, heck yeah, I'm ready.
Here is the reigning, defending, undisputed UFC strawweight champion, still undefeated, Jedrzejczyk.
She's ferocious, man, and she's incredibly talented. It's her footwork, her movement, her skill, her experience, and her endurance, and the hunger and the desire to stay champion.
I think you cannot be the champion because you just can't do this. You can't deal with the media. You cannot deal with the pressure. It's too much for you.
You know what? I will take your soul. You don't know shit about being a champion and you're never gonna be a champion.
Because you are his bitch and he is a bitch.
You are not stronger mentally. You are mentally unstable and you are broken already and I will break you in the fight.
I think there's a lot of mental instability in this whole country, and I think that's a great reason to fight.
Boogie Woman is coming for you, Rose!
When she was saying that you're never gonna be a champion, or you're mentally unstable, or you're this or you're that, her energy symbolized all the negativity that I had been battling from my upbringing, and it just triggered me. It put meaning to everything.
Out of the red corner, the reigning, undisputed strawweight champion of the world,
Jedrzejczyk, she's already been in 7 women's title fights. We are looking at maybe the greatest female fighter this sport has ever seen.
Thug Rose Namajunas, 25 years old.
The real question is she ready? And we're gonna find out.
I feel emotions, and I'm not afraid to be honest about those. I just realized there's times where I'm strong and there's times where I'm weak. And I'm like, how did I get to this point if I'm weak? Like, that doesn't make any sense. So I knew that I had to work on negative self-talk and start to tell myself that I'm okay and I can do this, you know?
Here we go.
5 rounds if needed to determine the UFC strawweight champion.
Joanna's a little bit thicker, a little bit bigger. Namajunas looks pretty comfortable on the feet so far.
Even to this day, there's never been a fight that I felt as good as I did when I was fighting Joanna. I just could see everything.
Knockdown from Namajunas.
Rose tagged her, and Rose has a fantastic submission game. Rose moves into
Rose
mount.
has the advantage.
She's got her back, she's tagging her.
And all the stars had aligned. Landing that left hook.
Well, Rose,
another knockdown! Rose Namajunas trying to close the show!
It was just the ultimate culmination of like everything in my life all in one moment.
That's it! It's over! Rose Namajunas!
Thug Rose!
Unbelievable!
Thug Rose!
There is a new strawweight queen!
Thug Rose with the fade left hook!
I felt the energy shifted after that fight.
Declaring the winner by knockout and new undisputed UFC strawweight champion of the world, Thug Rose!
After I knocked Joanna out and I realized I'm the champion and all this stuff, I think that's what kind of triggered that emotional response.
What was going through your mind when all this was happening?
There's so much like crap going on in the media, news and stuff, and I just want to try and use my gift of martial arts to try and make this world a better place and change the world. This belt don't mean nothing, man. Just be a good person. That's it. You know, this is extra. This is awesome, but let's just give each other hugs and be nice, man. I mean, I know we fight, but this is entertainment. I feel like a normal person, man. That's it. I'm just regular. Ain't nothing special here.
There's something special whether you admit it or not. Congratulations on an amazing performance. It was an honor to call your fight. Rose Namajunas, ladies and gentlemen.
Everything she's been wanting to do, she's made happen. Everything she said, everything that she predicted, she's laid out ever since I've met her, man. That girl is something special. She's something special. She called it. She made it happen.
How prepared are you for a slam initiation?
I'm not prepared at all.
You got smile.
Becoming the champ didn't come with a butler. It came with more interviews, more talking, more traveling, more work.
When you get there, in reality, it's like it takes some adjusting. It takes some focus, energy, and discipline in order to deal with those type of things.
Once Rose became champ, the attention that came with it was noticeably a lot bigger. Like, the world all of a sudden had their eyes on Rose.
Looking at you as a favorite and how odds was.
They were looking at me, or
that you looked at this underdog in Vegas.
Yeah, I don't pay attention to the odds and stuff like that. So I got way more other things to worry about.
I've always been sort of an introvert and just really enjoying my alone time, and to not really be getting it the way that I, sort of desired it. It's, that was tough.
We didn't know that becoming the champ was the end of this road and the beginning of another one. We didn't think like that. We just figured, we're here, it's over.
Even though I solidified myself as a champion, she called it a fluke. Fighting her as a rematch, it was like as if I was still fighting for the belt again. I felt like I was doing something so positive and good, and then there was a lot of obstacles that I was overcoming that nobody really knew about.
Ma'am, you ready? Ma'am, you ready? Fight!
Oh, Rose with the right hand. Oh, another one! And then slides out of the way.
Rose Namajunas leading the dance in this fifth and final round.
30 seconds.
Takedown. Thug Rose.
Big.
That is huge.
So the rematch goes the distance.
Wow, what a fight.
The winner by unanimous decision, and still the undisputed UFC strawweight champion of the world, Thug Rose Namajunas.
I spent so many years thinking about this one thing. Now what do I think about?
How does she handle the pressure of being the champion? There's a lot of eyes on you, and there's a lot of expectations.
Mentally going into that fight, I didn't feel 100% confident. I was very scattered and all over the place.
Undisputed UFC strawweight champion, Thug Rose Namajunas. Her last effort, a unanimous decision, successful title defense against Jedrzejczyk.
In the first round of that fight with Andrade, I was landing every shot. I was feeling like this must be too good to be true. But she cracked me one good time, and all those negative voices started to come out. One moment later, got lifted up, and I felt like I was being carried by angels. And then black, like a flash of black. I didn't know how scared everybody else was until a few moments later, and then I felt really bad because I've been in those situations where somebody that I care about, something scary happens like that. I feel bad for my coaches and Pat and all my friends and family watching. Like, that was obviously hard to watch.
Good to see Rose Namajunas get up. I was very worried about her neck with the way that she fell.
It was just disbelief at first. I just couldn't believe it.
Trevor Whitman and Pat Barry talking to Rose Namajunas, who is on the stool.
That was a big eye-opener in just what can happen. That's what I've been scared of all these years.
That was probably the most difficult fight to watch. when Jessica dropped Rose. That was the longest 2 minutes of my life.
The winner by knockout and new undisputed UFC strawweight champion of the world.
Any thoughts on a crazy epic championship fight here tonight?
It's just a huge pressure off my shoulders, so, yeah.
What is she alluding to, meaning the great pressure off her shoulders?
The belt. It's got to be the belt.
She didn't want the belt.
That takedown was horrific. I would like to ask if you think you have solid arguments to ask for a rematch.
Yeah, I've been hearing that, and I definitely was whooping her butt. There's no doubt about that. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's just, we'll see if I'm still interested in this. I mean, I know I could beat her, but I don't know.
But what do you mean? What do you mean about that? Are you not considering to run for the title again?
No, I just want to do something else in my life right now.
Like retirement?
I don't know. It's we'll see.
I was not in a good place in my life. I was just kind of doing it. I was kind of burnt out and sort of not really confident in myself. And that's why I decided that I didn't want to do it anymore. I was wandering through the wilderness in my life where I was upset that I was free, but I was still suffering.
Rose, go over there so I can see you. Put that stupid bear down, Rose.
Lots of stuff going on growing up. A lot of stuff I've sort of blocked out too. My parents separated, and then my mom remarried with my stepdad. Everything changed at that moment. He was abusive, you know. He was just a messed up guy.
Now say, I am an idiot.
He was physically abusive to me, and he molested my sister, and that was like really hard to come to terms with.
I just wanted to lock on my room, on my door. It was some nasty stuff, you know?
Everything in me wanted to like go and strangle him like at that moment, right then and there, and like not let him tap. That's definitely the worst thing you can do to a person, is to, you know, sexually molest them, and that's unforgivable for anybody. So especially someone who's so young and innocent.
You're not funny.
Luckily, I had met Pat early in my career, and he helped me a lot with that. He was the first person I told. Whereas my mom, that was a little more difficult to talk to her about it, just because, you know, your whole mission in life is to try to protect your children and like make the best life for them. So she probably felt very terrible about that. Of course she does.
I didn't even know till she told me she already moved out, you know, and she was, what, 19 or 20 when she told me that something happened, so I had no idea.
That's the whole reason why I never told her in the first place, because I didn't want her to feel like responsible or anything like that, or feel that pain, you know. But I felt like, yeah, it's you gotta know, you have to know the truth. The journey toward rediscovering my purpose started with going back to Lithuania, getting back in touch with my roots. I hadn't seen my grandmother in like 6 years.
Bet to ir rožė. Tavęs visi bijojo, ne?
Jo, taip.
Ką čia bijot, aš tavęs nebijau.
Nežinau. Tu mano močiutės, aš bijau tave. My grandfather was a champion wrestler, and he had to wrestle for the Soviet Union team and not for his own country. And so I'm a product of Lithuania's fighting spirit, and my fighting is also a product of that as well. It runs in my veins.
Jos rožės yra dvi. Viena ten, kur būna ringe, o kita, kur būna su mūsų šeimoje.
Dailus čiuožimas būtų, pramoginiai šokiai, gimnastika, moteriškas sportas, o čia? O, kokia jinai graži buvo, palaukit. Taigi yra jinai čia graži, va, parodykit.
Šito.
Aš turiu, dabar.
Čia mažytė graži va labai.
Ne mažytė, jau ne mažytė. O, kokia graži, o čia sunoju.
Coming back here to Lithuania and getting back to my family, and while I was out there, I got approached with an opportunity to visit some kids fighting cancer. To me, I draw more inspiration from that. It's like I'm fighting for so much, but they're fighting to be able to just have a good day and just have another day. And so to see that, to put some smile on their faces, I for sure just didn't even think twice about jumping on that opportunity. The last time I was here was sort of in the beginning of my career.
I love basketball. I played basketball in high school, and I feel like if you're Lithuanian, you kind of like, you don't have a choice, you know?
To come out here and to like meet people, and everybody's taken away by how much people care out here. I don't know what the future holds, but I do know that this marks a new chapter in my life. Almost like subconsciously we knew there was something looming. I think I was just emotionally a wreck, especially like losing my belt, because I was just like, I'm so depressed. I'm not even in position to like just be happy as a normal person.
Coming out of that fucking deep ass hole that she was in, that she got slammed into, that was not easy, man. The emotional, mental journey that started right then and there. An event like that can dictate the rest of your life. Like, getting knocked out fucks with you every day forever. Like, there's no day that it doesn't.
This is the main event. Avenging China, the challenger,
I mean, she definitely has the skills, but does she have the mental edge? Like, you know, that's the main thing.
Ladies, you go through the rules, you go through what I expect. Protect yourself at all times, follow my instruction at all times. Fight hard, fight fair, fight clean. Touch gloves, back to your corners.
She just needs to keep that speed up.
It might be a problem for her.
She can't stay in the pocket like that. Fight like this. This is
as hard as he could.
It took less than a minute to win a UFC championship.
When I finally did all that soul searching that I did, I was ready to fight again, and I knew, even though I had been offered to fight Whaley for another title shot, I felt as though I needed to avenge my loss against Andrade in order to feel ready for that. I was excited for that fight, but it was a lot going from being like retired to all of a sudden now facing like my demons of the last fight. But then COVID hit, and we had a family member that passed away from COVID. We're locked in our house. We're like, what the heck is happening? It was really tough. It was really weird. It was a weird time. You know, COVID or no COVID, I decided, let's just do it. I kind of just took a leap of faith.
Ladies and gentlemen, this fight is 3 rounds in the UFC strawweight division.
I was looking into her eyes, and I just felt something like a shark that smells blood and goes in for the attack.
Huge right for Namajunas. Outstanding distance management from Rose Namajunas.
She studied the tape, studied the first match, what she did wrong. Straight jabs, good right hand there as well.
I ran right over her.
But the punch that broke my nose, I definitely grew up in that moment. I think I matured in that split second. Because I decided you're gonna have to kill me, you know what I mean?
I'm not even gonna try to survive this. I'm gonna actually just keep trying to win. So, you know, fuck this nose.
For the winner by split decision, Pog Rose Namajunas!
I found one of the Ultimate Fighter clips, which I wanted to show you.
Like, it sounds terrible, but I enjoy hurting people. Like, that's just a side of me. For me, it's nothing personal.
No.
You know what I'm saying? I can be, like, we're all cool and stuff, but there is, like, at the same time, like I said, I enjoy hurting people, like, but I don't think I always will. Like, I think it's just something that, you know, from my past, like, I was the one being hurt, you know, and that's kind of what you're taught, you know, and then you kind of want to hurt other people because that's all you know. I don't know, if you're not a little messed up in the head, then, I don't know, I think you're doing the wrong thing.
It's really what I would like to do to the person that did something to me, you know? That's really what it is, not people in general. It's like, no, this fucking asshole. I remember that day. I don't remember me saying I don't think it'll always be like that, and it's very true. I must have known what the future holds, because there's definitely days where I don't enjoy doing this at all. It's been a long journey in order to like overcome all the pain and trauma and things, and there's a difference between abuse and fighting. Abuse is just kind of one-sided, and there's no decision to I'm willingly doing this. Where abuse takes place, there's lots of lies and manipulation, and there's not much truth in it. And so in a fight, you have to face all the lies. Everything is just truth. You can't make up a fight, and you can't manipulate anything. You know, fighting is two people competing. It's two people knowingly, you know, putting everything on the line. I think dealing with traumatic situations in life in general can definitely make your perspective on life very negative, and if you keep that negative lens in front of your eyes, you're always gonna attract just abusive situations, and it's just going to be this repetitive pattern that you'll never get out of. So if you can slowly chip away at the negativity with positivity and with love, you know, connecting with God, having faith, connecting to your higher power, your source. It's always a lifelong journey, but it's something that can be done, and that all starts with, you know, finding the good in yourself and loving yourself, and eventually you can attract love around you. I was so excited.
Get your little pink dress on.
Yeah. Like, oh dang. Probably my biggest success in life is building a team around me, from coaches, you know, family members, just a huge support system. And noise. You look the same. Family is 100% the most important thing, and you know, loving each other and just being in the present moment. Of all this stuff, I remember him playing the piano. I think relationships is probably the biggest resource that we can all have in this life, and so that's probably my biggest accomplishment. Coming off of the fight with Andrade with a broken nose, I kind of had to rehab that. But I was instantly thinking about fighting Weili right after.
Weili Zhang is a world champion fighter. Weili's the real deal. This is an extremely dangerous fight. Rose does not have the luxury of taking 1 second off. She can't make one mistake. Weili is that dangerous.
I had trained really hard for the Andrade rematch, and I still came out with an injury that I'd never sustained even close in a fight. So I was like, whew, like, Weili took out Andrade fairly easily, so if Andrade did that to me, I gotta be on my game. So I was super motivated for that fight.
Boom, here I got my position. Now look at, she has her hand on the ground. So I'm gonna kind of pull her forward. Now I come to the back. Now you can follow up however you want as far as your control goes.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
MMA. All right, a lot of people just think fighting, but the martial arts encumbers far more than just the fight. It's tying everything together. Your spirit, your emotions, your mental and the physical, all tying together. And her being a musician ties in that part of her ability to find rhythm and being able to move very light on her feet and have a very unique, unpredictable, and very methodical footwork. And so everything kind of ties in together. So there's so much of the art, the martial art, that she really embraces.
Training with Greg Nelson definitely is one of the best things that happened to me in my martial arts journey. Mentally, spiritually, I mean, he's definitely one of the strongest people that I've ever known, and he is a huge source of strength and a big role model in my life and my career.
Welcome to the UFC 261 press conference from the ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena in anticipation of the spectacular pay-per-view fight card.
So leading up to the fight with Weili, I did a Lithuanian interview.
Namajunas!
Yeah, a lot of us. Basically, we were discussing my inspirations behind what gets me motivated. And I'm like, I have more motivation in this fight than ever. And I kind of wanted to educate my training partner, Chico Camus, on the Lithuanian struggle and like just the history of it all. And so we watched the other Dream Team just to kind of get like a overall sentiment of what we fight for. And so just after watching that, it was just a huge reminder of like, yeah, it's better dead than red, you know? And I think, I don't think it's any coincidence that Weili is red. You know, she's, that's what she represents. It's nothing personal against her, but that's a huge motivating factor of why I fight, and I fight for freedom. I was referencing the kind of comment that was made when the tanks were rolling in saying, hey man, it's better to die than to be red or to let, and that at the time was communism.
Rose's comments weren't directed at Weili. They didn't have anything to do with her. Rose was speaking about her own personal experiences and her reasons for getting up in the morning. Weili hears these things and the media spun it around and made this big crazy headline.
How did that make you feel? And does that give you kind of extra motivation for this fight or anything?
She's not too much into Rose's comments. She's just focused on being an athlete and don't want to get into this kind of topic. Maybe this is a kind of way Rose to overcome her fear to fight. She and Rose and all other fighters, they are different nationality, different races, different religions. This is a great platform to know each other through fighting rather than what Rose had said.
People took it as like I'm personally attacking Weili. She's just representing what demons that I have in my past that I'm constantly dealing with every day.
One for Rose. Rose, we know how difficult it is to become a UFC champion, that climb up to doing it. What would it mean to you to achieve that goal twice and reclimb your way back to the belt?
It would mean that I believe that I'm right in what I believe, and that when I do my best, I am the best. It means that if God wants me to be the champion, I'll be the champion.
There was a time a couple of years ago when Thug Rose Namajunas was sort of a reluctant UFC strawweight champion. She felt somewhat liberated when she relinquished the title to Jessica Andrade, but she believes that this time around, her preparation is the best that she has ever put forth, and that has given her a tremendous amount of confidence as she tries to prove that when she does her best, she indeed is the best. So here is the undisputed UFC strawweight champion, Zhang Weili. 5-0 in the UFC. She has won, remarkably, 21 consecutive fights.
She represents a nation. She understands that her position as a champion from China, is so enormous.
She got booed from the beginning of her walkout song all the way until the ref said fight.
Given all the adulation and adoration that Zhang Weili has received, I think she was a little bit surprised here on foreign soil to be greeted by those boos.
She thinks Rose is like a master manipulator somehow, and she made these comments knowing that the crowd was going to turn on Weili. They're not booing you, Weili.
Only a professional record.
They're booing whoever Rose is fighting. The crowd loves Rose. They don't dislike Weili. They dislike anyone who Rose is going up against.
I've always had this belief that when I do my best, I am the best. And still those negative voices try to creep in. I was worried about getting hurt, losing, getting embarrassed, all these things, but I was just so ready.
Touch gloves if you like, let's fight.
I'm gonna just replace those thoughts with, I'm fighting with myself that I'm the best. I'm the best, and I did my best, so there's no way that I can't be the best right now.
Fight!
Jab from Zhang Weili. Weili now with an inside leg kick, throwing hard early.
Right away, what you see is how pinpoint and methodical Rose's footwork is.
One of the things that we talked about, John, was the importance of Rose's movement. She's got to be light on her feet. She's got to create a lot of angles.
Whaley came out and she kicked Rose on the inside of her leg probably 5 times.
I was dancing on the outside. She's kicking my leg. It was fast, but I could tell, like, I did the calculations, like, how fast it came. It was like, yeah, I can't let 10 more of these land without doing something about it, but at the same time, I also know she's focusing 100% of her effort into being this fast, just based on how it felt.
Whaley in her head knows that kick is eventually coming back. Rose knows this.
When someone throws a kick over and over, they expect that same kick to come back, and Rose kind of looks down. Her knee is even pointed down a little bit. Then Whaley moves her lower body away, opens up her upper body to evade, and just totally opens up the chin.
As soon as she stopped moving and Whaley goes, okay, here comes something.
Looked like it was going low.
Boom.
Those inside low kicks.
It's almost like the strings of a marionette just fall.
I saw the opening and bam. And then, yeah, I finished her.
As many style points as you can produce.
Whoa! My goodness! Out of nowhere.
Oh, she's falling.
She's saying no, but
she's mad, but she still can't even stand.
She's so wobbly.
You've been the best. She was saying that before the fight to herself. I'm the best. I'm the best.
You were so focused. Before the fight started, you were standing over there, and as Bruce Buffer was saying your name, you were saying to yourself, I'm the best. I'm the best.
I am the best.
You certainly are. There's no doubt about that now.
Exactly what I've been saying about her since we met, man. That girl's the best ever. That girl's the best ever, bro. I don't even want to call it unbelievable. It's very believable.
I think there's this idea out there, you know, how does Rose feel about all the attention that comes with having the belt? You want it to be different this time around. Can you just discuss that a little bit now that it is around your waist?
Yeah, I want to, you know, produce fruit with this, you know, with this seed that I've been given. So I just want to get back, and I think that's going to be the main focus right now.
Hey, I'm the luckiest dude ever. I wake up every day next to Rose, man. The first time we sparred was when she really got my attention. And I got hit, boom, like she stung the shit out of me, like, God damn, what was that? All right, so we keep on moving, and the same punch again, boom. It's like, what the fuck is it? Like, what's hitting me? Third time she hit me, boom. I just snuck, like, stoop, right in the head. And as soon as I hit her, boom, she hit me twice, boom, boom, like right back. Like she took my punch, and I remember thinking to myself, I'm in love. My career is over. Like I knew it. I knew in that round that we did that this was the beginning of my career. At the end of that round, I remember telling her, you have everything it takes to be the best in the world.
We're definitely meant for each other. He's my guardian angel, you know what I mean? He's everything to me, so I don't know, I guess it's hard to put it into words, you know? He's my best friend.
Thank you very much, Zhang Weili. We look forward to seeing you again inside the octagon. Zhang Weili, ladies and gentlemen.
And you can be sure, DC, it'll be quite an encore from Zhang Weili, but this will be a long trip home.
She's got a ton of time, but boy, does the night belong to Thug Rose Namajunas.
I already had that situation with Joanna the first time where everybody called it a fluke, and then it was almost like me getting a do-over. So I came out of the first fight pretty unscathed. So Yeah, I felt like I wanted to stay more active, and I got the call about a rematch right away, and yeah, I was just ready to go.
Most of the people I've trained throughout my career has been a whole bunch of ego, you know, I ain't scared, you know, and you almost have to fake it till you make it in this sport. She does it so different. It's complete opposite. When she doesn't feel it, she's completely truthful about it. To be able to be honest and understand that chasing your fear, facing your fear is the key to everything you do to be great. That, to me, is why we fight.
Rose is a unique individual because she's a true definition of what it is to be a human. Because as a human being, we have so many different sides to us. And one day we could be happy, one day we could be sad, one day we could be angry. And I think Rose is the type that will walk into the practice room, she'll cry it out, and 5 minutes later is killing the pads.
You know, she's emotional. We're all emotional, but she wears her heart on her sleeve in a way. And I think that allows the primal instincts to come through.
Oh, sorry. Oh, good. I never really gotten hurt up until I fought Jessica Andrade. The fear that I had was knowing that anything's possible.
I thought I was being careful, but you can only be so careful. So I guess the Ray Charles Stevie Wonder of MMA now, because I fucking found out that I have a detached retina. Last week in practice, one round I was going with somebody and I had their back and the back of their head hit my eyebrow. And I do remember that collision happening. Later that night, I noticed like a flash of light on the side of my peripheral. So I like looked it up and it was like, you could have a detached retina, you could go blind and all that shit. We don't really know like what the extent of it is or like how bad is it, or yeah, we have no idea. But it's still, I mean, it's still a big deal.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Miss Rose. Are you Miss Namajunas?
Yeah.
Am I saying that correctly?
Yeah.
Yes, hello.
Nice to meet you.
I'm so sorry to hear that your eye's not been doing so well, but let's come and take a look.
Okay, yeah, sounds good.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, thanks again, Doc. Yeah, thank you so much. Have a good one.
Cool. Yeah, have a good one.
We're gonna get double checked, but he didn't see what the other ophthalmologist saw. I think that's some shit. Yeah, damn, dude.
Man, you are fucking super Rose, boy. I hate it, man. You are stressing me out, man.
We got checked out by another specialist. He approved us to have this fight. I am still seeing a little flash, but it's not like as bad. And he just told me to take a week or two to let symptoms calm down and try not to take any jarring motions or contact and things like that until everything's calm. Yeah. So here's the garden. I've always wanted to be a farmer ever since I was a little kid.
I've always loved growing vegetables, flowers, everything like that. I'll do my morning runs here and back. It's just a beautiful run. I get to get my miles in. I get to enjoy better nutrition. I get to know where my food's coming from, so I don't have to worry about pesticides and things. My body functions a lot better. And it's just a lot of fun. But I mean, it is a lot of work too.
This eye scare, I think, is the thing that's gonna up her game. Because now there's more urgency to be better. Now there's more urgency to finish the fight sooner. Now there's more urgency to be more defensive. There's more urgency to get in and get out as soon as possible. What we just went through, we, for real, it was over. She retired, was gonna be a one-eyed farmer. Like, we went through all this shit in 24 hours. I think that's the type of thing to scare you straight. That's what I think.
It's a process getting ready for a fight. It's really traumatic. You're in a fight or flight mode all the time, and you magnify everything in your mind, especially with my eye. There's moments where I seriously need to go see a psychiatrist or something. The other day, I was having an episode where there's this drill we was doing. It reminded me of when I got dropped on my neck because I wasn't totally on point with it. And so I got into this whole traumatic phase because I'm like, I'm not protecting myself at all times. Like, that's my job. And I'm crying for like, probably 2 days straight. And then I make it to this big, huge thing. I'm not a champion, all this.
When we're going into a battle, as a human, you could start to doubt yourself. The doubts creep in. Can I really do this? Am I good enough? Can I do it? And for her to be able to channel that and say, yo, I'm the best. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. It's a battle that every human being fights. And she's a living example of that. To being able to go in there, conquer that fear that's telling you that you're not good enough, that you can't do it.
This the negative voice in my head. She keeps me on my toes, she keeps me ready, but if she's controlling all the time, if that voice is always in the lead, I'll never do anything.
She's gotten better. She's stronger than she was last fight, physically stronger. There has to be a limit to that shit. That girl is fucking strong as a dude right now.
More important, mentally she's stronger.
Yeah.
She has the moments where she, like we were wondering when she's gonna feel like crying again, but she passed that and she's on now.
She had a second where she was starting to lose it, but pulled it right back in.
Frustrated.
Starting to, but then she shut that up and she's on.
She chose not to. Okay.
So we just made it into New York City. It's good to be back here. I love this city. It's always great to be here. We just checked in, got our rooms. We just found out that one of the coaches had tested positive, so we're, turns out even if it's a false positive, it's a done deal. So we're pretty much just gonna be Trevor, Pat, Chico, and myself.
Time. Very nice. Every training camp starts out and it goes amazingly, but the closer you get to the top of the mountain, the fewer people can be up there. So fighters tend to make their circles smaller, they get more isolated. I mean, that's not everybody. Other fighters are out at strip clubs right now having parties out. Good. The way that Rose does it, she becomes very, very, very secluded. Rose isn't into
big crowds, which is weird because she's a world champion fighter, but she's not in the big crowds. She doesn't really even want people looking at her. And now she's on stage in the middle of a bunch of characters who obviously have all of their lines scripted and rehearsed.
The only thing that was broken is you broke your daddy out of jail.
Oh, really? Okay,
Yeah,
why did you go back to your corner in the third round and tell your corner, I think my jaw's broken?
That shit was nuts. I mean, I've been to a lot of press conferences, but that's the most intense one that I've ever been to.
Which one is it?
Hey, both of them. Let's go right now. Let's go right now.
Let's all sit down.
Colby Covington is just talking so loud, and I'm just trying to stay focused and saying the Lord's Prayer, confidence, condition, composure, content. I'm a champion. You just won't be your strongest self when you're not in control of yourself.
Her affirmations, her own self-belief, that's always been her source of comfort. You know, her spirituality, that's what she relies on. Rose has to be completely centered, completely in her own skin, and right there in the moment.
I got a question for you, Rose. You know, in April, you were a pretty big underdog, and you knocked her flat on her back and knocked her ass out, and you're still an underdog. What's your opinion on that, and people saying that maybe you didn't deserve to win that more than you just caught her?
I don't really concern myself with what everyone else thinks. Yeah, that doesn't matter to me.
It's a pretty intense situation. She handled it fucking spectacularly.
Last question, this is for Rose. Do you feel like you're still the hunter or you're being hunted?
I'm the champion. I'm the best.
UFC 268 at Madison Square Garden. Obviously huge fight for Rose. This is where she had one of the best nights of her career when she won the title the first time in a fight that no one thought she could. Now she's the champion again and coming back and defending it against Wei Li, who she took it from.
New York City, what has happened? We got a fantastic card for you, ladies and gentlemen, for the strawweight championship of the world.
It's a tough fight. I think Wei Li is very physical, very well prepared, and I think Rose is going to have to fight at her absolute best to win. I'm actually leaning Wei Li right now.
And her opponent, the reigning, defending, undisputed strawweight champion of the world,
Rose almost seems like she's the more fragile of the two. She's the matador. That's the role that she plays in her fight. But when the bull gets a hold of her, you know, bad things can happen to her. That's why her fights are so interesting, because it's always like on this cliff of Rose, you know, painting a picture, and then all of a sudden, you know, that car crash happens with a physical opponent, and you saw that with Jessica Andrade. Rose's journey is just so unique, and you know what she's feeling, you know that she's struggling through it, you know that this is something that she's having to conquer all the time. And people really have grown attached to that, of course. You know, a lot of people would say that they're afraid to go into a fight, you know, and to think about it all week and have all that pressure. And Rose talks about it, acknowledges it, openly struggles with it, you know. And so then when she conquers it, you get to see the whole story unfold, because Rose, you know, allows you to.
She's doing pretty good. I mean, the whole thing with Rose is, like I said, it's never physical. It's always keeping the mind right. And it's been a pretty smooth week. She's as fully prepared as I needed her to be, in my opinion. She's feeling good and just upstairs resting right now, rehydrating and fueling up. We didn't sleep last night.
Like, at all?
No, we cut weight from 7 to 1 and then laid in bed and stayed awake all night until this morning.
From Madison Square Garden in New York, New York, this is UFC 268.
This is where it's fun for me, because I do get front row to pay attention to just greatness. She's just brilliant. She's a brilliant person, the way she plays the piano. She's an artist in everything she does, and I'm confident she's gonna make another Picasso.
I'm the best. I'm the best.
It is a championship fight night, and that means Thug Rose has been activated. Here is the UFC strawweight champion, Rose Namajunas, with her patented phrase, "I'm the best."
It's been a journey for Rose Namajunas to be where she is today. It's tremendous to see her complete her journey, not only as a person, but as a champ.
Also, she's got an amazing mind. I mean, this whole thing, this "I'm the best" thing, she means that. She believes that. Rose Namajunas rises to the occasion like very few others. Whether or not she can do it again and whether or not Zhang Weili can make the correct adjustments, that's what we're gonna find out.
These title fights, man, they're so exciting, and this crowd, it makes you like your skin's crawling. Zhang Weili to get 2 takedowns in 2 rounds is a big positive for her.
Don't force something. You go out there and you fucking dial in your head into a fucking chin. Keep it going, bro.
Save the kicks for when you know the kicks are gonna connect. Take a deep breath. Beautiful. It's 5 minutes left. Everything you've been training to do, everything that we've been working on, it's 5 minutes.
Go out there and enjoy this moment. You are the best in the world.
This is what we talked about.
Break your spirit. Look
For the next 5 minutes, you stay a professional. For the next 5 minutes, 5 minutes, you be a professional.
What a joy to watch Chico Camus, Pat Barry, and Trevor Whitman work that corner. 5th and final round. They are on their feet at Madison Square Garden. These 5 minutes will determine who walks out of this famed arena as the undisputed UFC strawweight champion.
Hey, nice. Just like that. Have that foot ready. Back foot ready. Touch. A quick touch. A quick touch. Touch it now.
Big takedown for Thug Rose a minute into round 5.
Huge, absolutely huge.
That is a massive takedown by Rose Namajunas.
Her second on as many attempts in the fight.
Gigantic moment.
All right, we await the judges' scorecards. It looks as though they have now been tallied.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 5 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards for decision. Michael Bell scores the contest, 48-47, Whaley. Doug Crosby scores it, 48-47, Namajunas. And Eric Cohen scores the contest, 49-46, for the winner by split decision, and still the undisputed UFC strawweight champion of the world, Thug Rose
Well, congratulations, amazing fight. And still, ladies and gentlemen, Rose Namajunas.
I love Rose. She has, since I became a fan of MMA, she had my heart. Her heart is in it, she's pure. There's nobody that embodies, I think, what this sport is all about. When I think of it, I think of Rose. I know that this whole game is greater than winning or losing in a moment. It's about the long game. It's about staying in the fight. I have to tell myself the same affirmations. I have to tell myself all the time, I'm worthy, I'm good enough, I deserve to be here. So when Rose gets off doing that, it goes straight to my heart. Straight to my heart.
My sister-in-law was like, what's the difference between wearing the belt around your shoulder and around your waist? Because she showed me a picture of me in Madison Square Garden. When I first won the belt, that's around my shoulder. The actual reason that was around my shoulder when I first won it was because the belt didn't fit me. Like literally, like it was not the right size belt. Then it didn't fit physically, but also psychologically, I needed to grow into the belt. Fast forward to now, and I got the new belt and it's around my waist and it does fit. So I think it's just symbolic of me growing into the belt and growing into myself, not just physically, but also psychologically. Way more patient, way more mature, way more grateful, and I'm a lot more happy now.
She stands 5 feet 5 inches tall, weighing in at 114.5 pounds. Thug Rose Namajunas!
It's all about keeping each other on track and holding each other accountable. That makes this ship running. You know, it's me in there fighting, but it's all of us. We're all a team. Family, friends, teammates, coaches, all that stuff. So if Mom and I say positive affirmations together, it's that much more powerful. Šiandien yra geriausia diena mano gyvenime. Aš turiu gali pasirinkti savo proto būseną. Aš pasirinku būti dėkinga. Aš renkuosi meilę. Aš pasirinku būti išradinga. Aš pasirinku pasitikėti savimi. Aš pasirinku nugalėti savo baimę. Aš myliu ir priimu save. Aš atleidžiu nuostolas. Aš atleidžiu apgailestavimą. Dvasia aprūpina mane tinkamai žmonėmis, kurie padeda man įgyvendinti mano svajones. Aš esu čempionė.
Strawweight champion of the world, Carla Esparza.
I've definitely thought about my fighting career, my life as floating down a river. Sometimes there's beauty and peace and quiet, and then a lot of the time though there's rapids, rocks, and bumpy things that you got to get around and not let the current take you, right? So I'm gonna keep pushing forward, keep believing in myself, and have faith that the best is yet to come.
Ready?
Yeah.
Wait till you get in the shower. That's gonna feel so cool.
It's so crazy. But why is it so crazy?
It's just hair, right?
It's hair.
But for some reason, that's a big fucking deal.
I'm sorry, my hair is all wet. I just got out of the shower. Oh man.
Pretty brave.
Oh yeah.
Shit, she's a fighter, don't she?
Yeah. Right, it's just hair, right? Change is good.
Especially with this fire, right?
Yeah, it's just like constant worrying about it, and I damaged it my whole life. You know, just putting in rubber bands like every day for practice and stuff, being like in your face, you know. So it's just to make a better fighter, make a better person. And it's just like all the pressure in the society to make women, or to make women feel like they gotta have hair. Like, why do I
He
gotta
said
have hair?
the world's gonna lose their fucking mind when they see that. They're gonna say, no,
Especially like
no.
female
It's
fighters
like,
too, like we're pressured to be pretty and stuff.
yeah, like what's wrong? That's dope. About dope. Hey, yo, your hair looks exactly like mine right now.
Oh my god.